Okay.
Next time you should go.
I should've went. I missed out this year.
Here, you know the hot mic right now, right?
No, it was great. Especially, seeing the city getting a award, much deserved award. That was like the highlight.
Good deal.
Yeah, that was, and of course Cody's gonna give a little report on it tonight.
Okay, I will go ahead and call the meeting to order. I'm going to ask Dale Richards, the pastor of the Alma Methodist and Kibber Methodist Church, to lead us in prayer, and I'll lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Y'all stand.
Let's pray. Holy God, thank you for your love, your grace, and your mercy. I give thanks to you tonight for those on this council who serve our community. Bless them in their duties. I pray that their focus, their discussions, their plans, and votes be for the good of all. Also give thanks for the first responders who serve our community. Bring those on the police force and fire department's safety in their duties. And God, I'm asking that you protect those who protect us. It is an honorable duty that they perform. Please bless them for it. We also thank you for the providence of living in our beloved town. You have blessed her immensely. I pray your blessings continue to be manifested in both our town and in our country. God, help us as individuals to live by the precepts we glean from your example and direction, that we would love our neighbor, which is everyone, and in doing so, be ready to assist them in their needs as we can. Essentially, God, help us to be the people you created us to be. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Dale. Roll call.
Thank you.
Andrew Kilpatrick.
Here.
Larry Blasingame.
Here.
James McGee.
Here.
Evan Thacker.
Here.
Damon is absent. Gary Perry.
Here.
You have before you the minutes of the last meeting of December the 19th, 2024. You should look those over and see if there's any additions or corrections.
Make a motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve the minutes. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We don't have any committee reports, city citizens forum, unfinished business. We're down to new business, and I'm going to go out of order for just a moment, if y'all don't mind. We're fortunate to have Mr. Taylor Marshall here with us tonight to discuss an ordinance, and he's got to get back to Little Rock, so I'll call this part together, and we go let him go first. Entertain a motion to bring ordinance number 2025-3 to the table.
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Sandra Kilpatrick.
Yes.
Larry Blasingame.
Yes.
James McGee.
Yeah.
Evan Thacker.
Yes.
Gary Perry.
Yes.
Entertain a motion to suspend the reading rule and read by number and title one time only.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Sandra Kilpatrick.
Yes.
Larry Blasingame.
Yes.
James McGee.
Yeah.
Evan Thacker.
Yes.
Gary Perry.
Yes.
This is ordinance number 2025-3, which is an ordinance authorizing the construction of betterments and improvements to the water facilities of the city of Alma, Arkansas, authorizing the issuance of a water and sewer revenue bond for the purpose of financing all or a portion of the cost of construction, providing for the payment of the principal of the bond and prescribing other matters related thereto. And I will ask Mr. Marshall if he get up and explain this ordinance.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mayor, members of the City Council. My name is Taylor Marshall with Friday Eldridge and Clark. It's good to be before you again. You have an ordinance before you tonight authorizing the issuance of a water and sewer revenue bond in the principal amount of $6,206,000. So this bond is being purchased by the Arkansas Development Finance Authority as part of the state drinking water revolving loan fund program. And within that program, it's being purchased as a forgivable loan, which means that this is essentially a grant. So under this particular program, they're gonna buy this bond. We gotta go through all the steps that you would typically go through under state law and otherwise. We're issuing a bond and they're purchasing the bond, okay? And it's gonna be a drawdown bond. And so you have until February 1, 2027, which is your disbursement cutoff date for this particular loan. So between now and, or when we close, which will be February 25th, between February 25th of this year and February 1st, 2027, you're gonna draw down on this loan, kind of like a line of credit. Assuming you're in compliance with the state's revolving loan fund program, and as those draws are made, the principal is forgiven at that point. So it is as though you owe nothing back. You do know you owe nothing back at that point. Now, if you were to ever not comply with the program, which I have never seen, we do a lot of these forgivable loans, then at that point, they would notify you that this converts into a conventional loan. Now, what's interesting about this is part of the EPA program's emerging contaminants, which I've talked to Mark about. I don't completely understand that part, but if it were to convert into a loan, the interest rate is zero and the servicing fee is zero. So even at that point, all you would owe back is the principal that you've drawn down. So this is a really good deal for the city. We do a lot of these. I have not seen one of these principal forgiveness loans standalone in this high principal amount, $6 million. So whatever you all did with the application to the state, commend you for that, because you're getting a lot of free lunch. So anybody have any questions?
Is there any questions of Mr. Marshall? Or for Mark? If there's no questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 2025, 3.
I make that motion.
We have a motion, we have a second. Roll call.
Sandra Kilpatrick.
Yes.
Larry Blasingame.
Yes.
James McGee.
Yes.
Evan Thacker.
Yes.
Gary Perry.
Yes.
Thank you, Taylor. We will get those published, posted tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Nice. Safe drive.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to bring ordinance number 2025-1 to the table.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
roll call.
Sandra Kilpatrick.
Yes.
Larry Blasingame.
Yes.
James McGee.
Yes.
Evan Thacker. Gary Perry.
Yes.
Entertain a motion to suspend the reading rule and read by number and title one time only.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Sandra Kilpatrick.
Yes.
Larry Blasingame.
Yes.
James McGee.
Yeah.
Evan Thacker.
Yes.
Gary Perry.
Yes.
Ordinance number 2025-1 is an ordinance amending Alma ordinance number 2002-03 regarding obviously the cost of producing water and setting new rates for the city. Any discussion?
No changes from the last conversation we had on this or the sewerage rates, right?
That's great.
Thank you.
Same thing.
Any questions of Mark? Entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 2025-1.
So moved.
A motion, we have a second.
Second.
Roll call.
Sandra Kilpatrick.
Yes.
Larry Blasingame.
Yes.
James McGee.
Yeah.
Evan Thacker,
Yes.
Gary Perry.
Yes.
Ordinance number 2025-1 is approved. Entertain a motion to bring ordinance number 2025-2. I apologize. The one that was approved was 2025-1. Entertain a motion to bring to the table ordinance number 2025-2.
So moved.
Okay, roll call.
Sandra Kilpatrick,
Yes.
Larry Blassigame,
Yes.
James McGee.
Yeah.
Evan Thacker,
Yes.
Gary Perry.
Yes.
Entertain a motion to suspend the reading rule and read by number and title one time only.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Sandra Kilpatrick,
Yes.
Larry Blassigame,
Yes.
James McGee.
Yeah.
Evan Thacker,
Yes.
Gary Perry.
Yes.
Ordinance number 2025-2, an ordinance amending Alma ordinance number 96-2 regarding the increased charges for sewer. Any questions or discussion? Any questions for Mr. Yardley? Or any discussion?
Make a motion, we approve ordinance number 2025-2.
Have a motion, we have a second? Second, roll call.
Sandra Kilpatrick,
Here.
Larry Blassigame,
Yes.
James McGee.
Yeah.
Evan Brown, Evan Thacker,
Yes.
Gary Perry.
Yes. I do have a question. Mayor, our lawyer is not here. Are we to approve the emergency clause?
It's in it, so we don't have to do a separate approval. I don't
We
think.
don't have to do a separate.
I thought we did have to.
I thought we did
Do we
have.
have the emergency clause on the water and the sewer?
Yes.
Yes.
To be safe.
Yes.
To be safe.
There you go.
I'll entertain a motion for ordinance number 2025-1 and 2025-2 to declare an emergency clause.
Okay, I'll make that motion that we
Okay.
approve.
We have a second.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Sandra Kilpatrick,
Yes.
Larry Blassigame,
Yes.
James McGee.
Yeah.
Evan Thacker,
Yes.
Gary Perry.
Yes.
Thank you. Anyway, just a minute, I lost something. All right. Lost part of my business. I'll, motion to bring resolution number 2025-1 to the table.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Sandra Kilpatrick,
Yes.
Larry Blassigame,
Yes.
James McGee.
Yeah.
Evan Thacker,
Yes.
Gary Perry.
Yes.
Resolution number 2025-1 is a resolution of the City of Alma, Arkansas, creating the Youth Council Committee and providing for an effective date. I had mentioned, excuse me, to y'all previously that wanted to start a youth council. Several cities in the state have it, and basically it's a group of high school students selected by the mayor and the school administration, and it's to teach them about government, about city government. They will have meetings once a month, just like a regular city council. They, from time to time, will have something they would like to present to us. Now, obviously, they can't vote on anything, but it's a program that the municipal league is trying to get more young people involved in being active and being interested in city government. And this is a resolution. This particular one, we have interviewed and have applications out of 6 students between Mr. Kirkendall and myself. 6 students have signed up that want to do this, and it's really interesting. At the bottom of the app, it said list 3 things you'd like to see your city do, and with one exception, it's everything we all talk about. Downtown, parks, recreation, cleanliness, and this type thing. But the one thing was they want to get rid of panhandlers, and I said, we can't do that, but, we don't disagree with you. But anyway, we would like to, this will be obviously annual, like the students now, we have 5 seniors and 1 sophomore. I hope next year that we can break it down better and more underclassmen. And Mr. Kirkendall said he thought that would be, he said they were just a little reluctant because I probably didn't do a good job of explaining to them what it was. And a lot of them were reluctant, but have since said, yeah, I wish next year I could get involved in this. But if we approve this, and I hope you will, the next meeting in February, I hope we'll have a judge here and we'll swear them in and give them, the whole deal. So I'm really excited about it, and they are as well. But any discussion?
You presented this to students then?
Pardon?
You presented this to the students?
Yes. Yeah. And we've met with them once, to kind of talk about it and everything. They're pretty excited. It's real interesting. It'll be real interesting. They'll come up with some ideas that we will probably discuss, and there will be some real good ones. And Gary and I went to and Cody went to Municipal League, and the first speaker, it was a great session. It was 13 ways to kill your city. And one of them was not taking care of young people, not taking care of your old people, two of them. And you say anything about that? Gary and I have talked about this youth council. It's something he really wanted to get started as well. But I'll answer any questions that you might have. Entertain a motion to approve resolution 2025-1.
So moved.
Second. Roll call.
Sandra Kilpatrick,
Yes.
Larry Blasingame,
Yes.
James McGee,
Yeah.
Evan Thacker,
Yes.
Gary Perry.
Yes.
Need a motion to bring resolution number 2025-2 to the table.
So moved.
Roll call. Excuse me.
Sandra Kilpatrick,
Yes.
Larry Blasingame,
Yes.
James McGee.
Yeah.
Evan Thacker,
Yes.
Gary Perry.
Yes.
Resolution 2025-2 is a resolution authorizing the police chief to trade one police vehicle for the purchase of another. And the one they're trading in is the 2013 Ford Explorer. Any questions of chief or any discussion?
So we still have 3 that are still hanging around after this one.
Yeah, if I remember last month, you guys approved trading in 4
Yeah,
on the
up to
2 new
4.
Tahoes. So by doing that, what we had budgeted for 2 patrol vehicles for this year, and by trading this 5th one in, we're gonna be able to buy a new CID unit.
Yeah.
By that savings, and still be within the budget that was approved for new vehicle purchase.
Good deal. Any other questions or discussion? I'm sorry, excuse me. Entertain a motion to approve resolution 2025-2.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Sandra Kilpatrick,
Yes.
Larry Blasingame,
Yes.
James McGee,
Yes.
Evan Thacker,
Yes.
Gary Perry.
Yes.
Entertain a motion to bring to the table resolution number 2025-4. Second.
Did we skip the
You
3?
already skipped 3.
Sorry.
No.
It'd be the-
Council.
I don't, okay.
We just decided we're bringing one to the table, so we can go ahead with that. I just
Yeah,
was going down the list.
okay. We'll go out of order and, did we get a motion in a second?
Yes.
Okay. Did you do roll
I
call?
don't have a second.
Second.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Okay.
All right, roll call.
Sandra Kilpatrick,
Yes.
Larry Blasingame,
Yes.
James McGee.
Yeah.
David Thacker.
Yes.
Gary Prater.
Yes.
Resolution 2025-4 is something we do each year. It's a resolution approving and amending the budget for the city of Alma, Arkansas for 2024. And you'll see attached various entries. On the first page, Rhonda has typed out beside some of the extraordinary items. Is there any particular discussion you would like to have or explanations?
I don't think they have a copy of the one that I gave you late.
Oh, they don't? I'm so sorry.
The typed out explanation.
Oh, okay,
Oh.
like on my, I'm sorry.
I think I just have that to you.
Okay, I'll just hit a couple of the larger, I apologize. Under Exhibit A, under the mayor, library expense, we budgeted 10,000, we spent 19,000, but we spent $12,000 that we did not have budget for doors, electric doors, and we also had to repair a large air unit that we had not anticipated. Card sanitation, it was 43,000. This is the expense. The income was 40,000 over as well. So even though this is much larger, so was the income. So it worked out all right. Miscellaneous, a couple of little $294,000. 130 of that was taxes. Another unexpected to me, they completed the Wi-Fi downtown, and we got a bill for $20,000 that we had committed to about 3 years ago, but it just came in when they completed Ritter with the Wi-Fi. I can't remember what.
Fire and police awarded from the bond revenue closure.
Oh, yes, right. The fire got 48,000, police got about 85,000, so those.
That's what they've spent to do it, I
Right.
guess. And it comes out of that miscellaneous because
Yeah.
those revenues went into miscellaneous income.
And of course, rainy day fund was over 418,000, but November or December, I think we moved 400 and something thousand dollars out of that excess funds to the rainy day fund. So, and going on, planning commission was 10,000 over in salaries, but we hired Brett in March, and we were thinking we were gonna hire him in June or May or something like that, was the explanation. Under clerk, we were $8,000 over in professional fees. That was what we paid H&R professionals that we did not, this coming year, we've got that in the budget, but we did not have that because we moved faster on that than we thought we would. But I will try to answer any other specific questions you have as well. I just tried to pick out some of the larger ones. We were over about $8,000 on the community building. We had had to replace a refrigerator freezer, commercial freezer, had a bad roof leak, and we had to repair that we had not anticipated. Any other specific questions?
Make a motion that we approve resolution 2025-4.
We have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
Roll call.
Sandra Kilpatrick,
Yes.
Larry Blasingame,
Yes.
James McGee.
Yeah.
Evan Thacker,
Yes.
Gary Perry.
Yes.
Thank you. Excuse me. Now I need to do policy and procedure. The motion to bring to the table resolution number 2025-3.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Sandra Kilpatrick,
Yes.
Larry Blasingame,
Yes.
James McGee,
Yes.
Evan Thacker,
Yes.
Gary Perry.
Yes.
Resolution 2025-3 is a resolution setting the policies and procedures for the city council of the city of Alma for the year 2025. This is something we do every January. There's no changes in this as far as I can tell from the one we approved last year, but it gives us the opportunity if there are some things you would like to see changed. I think I sent out an email in our December meeting. There wasn't a vote or a discussion. We had Damon, I believe, brought up, said there's any way we could start the meetings earlier. Of course, it might affect Evan more than anyone as far as,
Or a lawyer as well.
yeah, well, he said that he couldn't be here at 6:30, but
Yes, absolutely.
so, but I just want to, I know we mentioned that, so I just want to point that out. If you wanted to change the meeting time from 7 o'clock, but, or any other items in the agenda which you want to do.
So I'll make a motion that we approve resolution 2025-3
As is,
as is.
okay? Any discussion, Larry, or something you
No,
want?
I know that we discuss every year, that 5-minute window for the,
Oh,
did we want to trim that back to like 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes? I know there's a cap at it overall, but,
yeah, it was 10, wasn't it, and then put it to 5 or something?
I don't recall, but I know it's been right around 5 minutes for the last couple of years, and there's a cap of roughly 15 minutes for the topic.
Right,
And
right,
we
right,
trim.
right.
It's not like, I think we've only had 1 or 2,
Since I, yeah,
in the last, before,
Yeah.
there was a lot more activity, in the last year.
I'm certainly open to whatever the council wants to do in that regard.
I'm good either way, so.
We have a motion to approve resolution number 2025-3. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second. Roll call.
Sandra Kilpatrick,
Yes.
Larry Blasingame,
Yes.
James McGee,
Yes.
Evan Thacker,
Yes.
Gary Perry.
Yes.
Have a motion to bring resolution number 2025-5 to the table.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Sandra Kilpatrick,
Yes.
Larry Blasingame,
Yes.
James McGee,
Yeah.
Evan Thacker,
Yes.
Gary Perry.
Yes.
Resolution number 2025-5 is a resolution providing for the revision of the water budget for the city of Alma, Arkansas for the previous budgeting year, January 2024 and ending December 31, 24. As we did the general fund previously, these are the various items listed below that we need to adjust. Any questions for Mark on any of these numbers?
Make a motion we adopt resolution 2025-5.
Have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Sandra Kilpatrick,
Yes.
Larry Blasingame,
Yes.
James McGee,
Yeah.
Evan Thacker,
Yes.
Gary Perry.
Yes.
Motion to bring resolution number 2025-6 to the table.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Sandra Kilpatrick,
Yes.
Larry Blasingame,
Yes.
James McGee.
Yeah.
Evan Thacker,
Yes.
Gary Prater.
Yes.
Resolution 2025-6 is a resolution providing for the revision of the street budget for the city of Alma, Arkansas for the previous budget beginning January 1, 2024 and ending December 31, 2024. And below there's 7 or 8 items that we need to adjust. If you have any questions for Mark on these.
Make a motion that we set for resolution 2025-6.
Second.
Roll call.
Sandra Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Larry Blankengain,
Yes.
James McGee.
Yeah.
Evan Thacker,
Yes.
Gary Prater.
Yes.
All right. Through the resolutions and ordinances. I'll make an announcement. As you probably know, the A&P Commission is made up, part of it is 2 council members that's appointed by the mayor. James McGee served on it since he was 13 years old, and he's tired and worn out. And so he asked if he could step down, and he turned in a resignation letter. And I'm appointing Larry Blankengain to be the other council member to serve on the A&P Commission. We don't have to vote to approve it. We can vote to disapprove it. But
We're sure we can trust this guy.
yeah, I think it'll be a.
I hate to give it Sal.
But anyway, if there's no objection, then effective immediately. And Larry will be serving as one of the council members along with Gary on the A&P Commission. Thank you.
So do you need an approval?
No,
from us, or just?
it's just my appointment. I just wanted y'all to be aware of it, and by 2/3 vote, you could disapprove it. So, but I think with the number of votes we got.
What else is gonna be done?
Well, I mean, also James like,
If James voted no, I'd be right. So-
All right, now we'll get to the department reports, and we'll start off with Mr. Parsons.
All right, new year. Our department, we've hired one new fireman, one of our newest police officers, Colton Gregory, showed interest in, went through the process of putting his application in, went through the application process, and we outfitted him. He's gonna get his PPE and his wildland. The thing is, gets qualified to go into structures and stuff like that. He'll be a good asset to us. He's a young kid, and hopefully he'll be around for a long time. Last month we had 84, Southwest had 84 calls. We had 15. 12 were medical, 1 vehicle fire, 1 false alarm, and 1 claim at the burn trailer. We have a county-wide burn trailer at the station for last month. Still here right now. So it's good weather to do that. So we just gotta get some guys together and go back through it. Y'all stop by, people can show you what it does. It's pretty. For live fires, it's a good asset to have. We did get a preliminary build on Tower 2 will be possibly July 2027. And that came up last week, so we signed off on all that. So that's all I have this morning.
Do you have a list of those job duties?
Yes,
Would you pass that out?
I can. This is
Um,
not all I have.
Thank you.
Several of the firemen and I have been discussing an administrative type person. David Lee and Marcus and other people have been filling in and doing these type things. And what we're proposing to the council is hiring David Lee as an administrator for the fire department for these various reports and this and that. Pay him by the hour with no benefits, and it's hard to pinpoint the hours he will work, but he anticipates it's probably would average 2.5 days a week, although we won't know until he's been there a while. Would pay him $25 an hour for hours worked, again, with no benefits. This, and of course, where's the money coming from? I discussed with them that we didn't have any money in the budget for this. They have rollover, I think you call it rollover money, I'm not sure what. They have rollover money that they will be receiving soon, or have you already received it?
Yes.
Of about $38,000. We would put a max on this of $25,000. And David Lee does not anticipate it would be that much. This will give us an opportunity to have a really case study on what does the administrator at the Alma Police Department, how much do we need, and this type. Fire, I'm sorry. Oh, sorry, chief. Oh, he was coming up out of his chair.
You probably didn't know what they do.
Oh, that's Angel's job, yeah. But this would give us an ideal case study to look at 2026 and forward about what does this position do, how much time does it take, and how much money does it take. This is not something that necessarily benefits well, it obviously benefits locally, but it's the ISO reporting, it's the federal and state reporting and the various testing, and also we're going to work on some grants. I'm for this, and again, it won't come out of the budget, it comes out of their money that they already have. But I'm open to discussion, and I might not have done a very good job of explaining what they're trying to do. But I have met with them several times, and quite this, understandably, David said, I've been doing this, and I've been doing it a lot, and he said, but it's more and more and more, and I really not going to do it for free. I mean, he didn't put it that way. I mean, but he wasn't like that. But that's what he. And I don't disagree with him. He spends a lot of time and does a lot of things. I mean, Pee Wee probably explained it a lot better than I did.
It's just, and this is a big highlight of what he's going to be wanting to accomplish through the 2025 year. And I'm just like 833 last year, he spent weeks putting all ever firemen in on his own. I mean, it just had to be done. And that's what we did. That's what he did. If y'all see anything different or anything like that, you have questions on that, on any of this right here, I think will benefit a lot more than what we have. If we can do this, I mean.
He has to do this monthly, chief?
Well, no, it's as needed, but there's something all the time, reporting and these various things, plus other items. But if he doesn't work, he won't, I mean, he'll have a clock in, clock out situation. I mean, it won't be anything that's, we won't pay him for anything he's not done there working on. And he says it could be $20,000. He said it's just hard to know, but he said it won't exceed $25,000. That's why I put that in there a while ago. And unless something extraordinary came up, if it did, we'd come back and talk about that again.
So the rollover money, what money is that?
I'll let people.
That's what we had left over off the budget last year.
They had money left in last year's budget.
Okay.
You budget your 95%, and that's what we had left over off of all that. I mean,
That 38,000.
Rhonda,
If I may speak to that, yes. So that money goes into their fire outlay account, and then council approves expenditures from fire outlay. And I will let you know, because there's no budget on fire outlay or Act 833, I can't issue checks out of that without council approval.
Every check has to be
No,
approved?
no,
or
if you
can-
approve
you-
this as it
Gotcha.
is, that
But
when
you
it comes
can't-
to, I
she
can't
can't-
go over what you approve. But
Well,
no, I
okay.
wouldn't have to be per check, this would
Okay. You
encompass.
scared me there for a minute.
No, that would scare me too.
Yeah.
Every check.
Every 2 weeks.
No,
No, and it could be every 2 weeks. I mean, he's not objective to that.
And there may be some times of the year where it's busy.
He may have-
Yeah.
Exactly. He said there may be times I'm there 10 days in a row, and there may be times I'm not there for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But it's something going forward, we've all discussed it a little bit about, the fire department and the future of it. And I think this is a good start in trying to figure out what do we really need from an administrative
Let's get
standpoint.
grants and stuff like that. I mean, he's not a, Mr. Rideout. He would like to be as good as him, but I mean, if he could find some grants, that would help us out a lot. And at the end of this year, I mean, it might pay off even more that way. We don't know. I mean, the FEMA grant is what him and Dax had already looked at.
Cause
There's
you
a
know,
lot of stuff to
in all of our preliminary discussions, I don't think we really know what we need, and I think this is an opportunity to get us a little more insight as to what we do need going forward.
Can we add to this also reports like we get from some of the other departments?
Absolutely.
I know the police.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they've got somebody on staff that,
Sure.
you know, is sitting there and being paid to put together reports. Can we add to responsibilities?
I could
before we-
discuss with him doing a quarterly
Yeah, like,
report? I would actually ask for, if we're paying them, you know, every week to do stuff, I would ask for a regular council report every month.
yeah, every month, yeah.
I think that would be beneficial for us to see,
Sure.
you know, what we've approved, or if we approve it, that we're seeing, you know, and these be some of those things to report out on. You know, we're working on grants, we're working on, you know, we've kept all of our equipment up, or we found such and such without compliance, you know, whatever's done that month.
Whatever he's doing.
I think that would be great. I know that's kind of been discussed in the past, but we don't really have somebody that's getting paid to sit there and do a report, you know, like all of the other departments do. So I would like to see that if we proceed with this.
So what does he need from us, Mayor?
Approval to pay him $25 an hour worked with no benefit and not to exceed $25,000 for 2025. And if that's approved, that stipulation is monthly, we get a report of activities that he's done for that month, hours worked, and what projects he worked on in this month.
Well, it's kind of like, you know, when Pee Wee or Chief Parson comes up and tells us like the numbers, as far as it goes, maybe just a simple graph for him, right? Right, here it is over time. I mean, little thing.
Even
Plus,
stuff
yeah.
like, you know, the police department gives us this, and this is really telling,
Yeah.
and, you know, it's not a super complicated report, but it's
Sure.
something that gives us pretty good insight into what they're doing.
It'd probably be
Something related.
touching more of this stuff right here on the page.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah, those would be the heavy hitters right there.
Accomplished or
Yeah.
something new or something.
And especially anything to do with grants and funding and those records and stuff like that. If there's things going there, you know, that's a great place to put that in. And, you know, it's now part of the council packet and his file and all of that. That'd be great.
Rhonda has it.
are we talking about as a city employee or as a like a contract worker, since it's still.
Contract.
I would think
yeah.
for this, it would have to be
Yeah.
a contract.
Right,
employee.
right.
He's not offering benefits.
He's not
so-
He's gonna say without benefits.
Right, yeah, no benefit, yeah.
Similar to like the agreement with Wayne.
Right.
Exactly, yeah, very good, very good example.
I think it's a good next step. I personally think it's a good next step, you
Okay,
know, based on the conversations.
is that
I
motion?
do too.
That's a motion.
Yeah, I
Second.
think it's.
Roll call?
Should we clarify that
Oh.
motion though, just to make sure?
Okay.
The motion is to hire David Lee as the administrator for the fire department, hourly as a contract worker, $25 an hour for with a maximum for 2025 of $25,000 paid from the rollover in the capital outlay for the fire department.
Correct.
Is that
Perfect.
accurate? Okay.
Yes.
I made notes because I wanted to make sure I got that right.
So we've had a motion and a second.
Yes.
Roll call.
Sandra Kilpatrick,
Yes.
Joe Blasingame,
Yes.
James McGee,
Yeah.
Evan Thacker,
Yes.
Gary Terry.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else, Chief Parsons?
Just thanks, and we'll be looking for the reports next month of what all's happening and all that. But thanks, I mean, it's gonna go a long way, I think. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're on.
Chief Corner?
All right, thank you all. First up, I talked to y'all a little bit about hiring for the TOPS grant, last month. This has been one of the hardest positions I've had to fill. We've had 3 or 4 people that we interviewed, liked, and started the background, and either something come up in the background or they backed out. So we've had several either back out because of pay or completely turn us down because of pay. So again, bring that up again, because that's something that's been mentioned for a couple of years, looking at pay scales, and so hopefully that's something that we can do in the future. I told you last month that one of the nearby departments got a pretty good raise that put them over us. Well, this month, a town to the east of us a little ways, they got about a $5,000. They were under us, and now they got about a $5,000 raise and put them above us too. So really encouraging to that be a priority for this year, for us to look at that. We did finally today hired someone for the position, barely meet the deadline to get him into the Portsmouth Academy, which will be starting February 10th. So he'll be in the academy until middle of June, and then come out and be in the FTO process for several weeks after that, for about 12 weeks after that. So looking forward to him joining us eventually later on this year. The new police department, you guys approved the architect last month, and we had our kickoff meeting with them and the engineer this month, and working on planning or scheduling a planning meeting here in the near future with them, where they will actually come in and probably, he said, probably be up to a whole day with us, talking about planning and different things. So we're really looking forward to that. I received notice that the Law Enforcement Standards Office is going to be coming in to audit us in February. So that's a lot of the files that we're required to keep, and I don't suspect anything out of order there, but anyway, in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be going through all of our files and make sure we got everything ready for them. Again, thank you for approving the trade the other vehicle in. As I told you, we purchased the 2 Tahoes, and we saved a little bit because they had a couple of the 24 still in the lot. And those are actually, we'll probably be going to pick them up Monday, so they've already got them outfitted and ready. And then with the money we saved by trading the older vehicles in, which I think we got more money out of them than we would have ever thought about getting out of them doing an auction or sealed bid. So I think in the future, that's the way for us to go. But we're planning on, they're actually holding a Chevrolet Traverse for me, and it's actually a 2024 that they've still got on the lot, so we're saving a little bit of money there. So they were holding it until tomorrow, so I know whether the trade-in vehicle, because the trade-in will keep us under the budgeted amount for this year. Talked about the overage for the fire department. I would like to ask also, like we've done the last couple of years, in the 40% police sales tax, we brought in about 16,374 over what we budgeted. And like we've done the last few years, I would like to ask that we move that over to the police capital outlay with your approval.
We have a motion. Do we have a motion to?
Motion.
Okay, second.
I was looking to you to make sure we needed a motion for that one.
Okay. Roll call.
Sandra Kilpatrick. James McGee.
James?
Sorry, I went out of turn. I'm sorry, he's not used to that.
Yeah.
Larry Blassick game.
Yes.
Evan Packard.
Yes.
Gary Perry.
Yeah, I'll follow Larry.
I know, sorry, that's my bad.
Thank y'all for that. And then just real quickly, I know y'all already approved the budget amendments, but the budgeting thing is something that I really take pride in trying to figure our budgets and plan for everything. But we were over in 3 line items, and again, I know you already approved that, but just real quickly, I would like to explain a couple of those. And the property and vehicle insurance, that was just, we didn't budget enough for. We didn't have the figures in time, and so we under budgeted for that. The building repair, we actually had an air conditioning unit go out in our server room, which that thing runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And if y'all know, we just replaced the server, so we had to get it replaced, and that was about $2,800, which put us over in that line item. And then the court expense, that's where the jail fee is paid out of, and so that's one of them that you never know. So
Jeff, when did that other $5 go into effect?
it started the first year.
Oh,
So now
January.
we're paying $45 a day per person. Other than that, a couple of announcements. We advertised for the 2025 Citizens Police Academy, which is going to be starting February 17th. We advertised for that one day, and I think by the next afternoon, we got more. We already have a waiting list, so that's a good response to have for that. And then I received notice last week that we've actually been selected for the Axon Road Show, which is going to be here at the Alma Police Department on April 15th. And I know that's a ways off, but I'll remind you again, that's something that I put in for last year. We didn't get it for last year, so I resubmitted it. Axon is a company that they have the tasers, they have vehicle cameras, body cameras, virtual reality training equipment. They have a large variety of stuff. But so for one day, they normally have 2 of these in each state. So Alma's been selected for that for this year for this area. They bring some trailers in. They have a virtual reality deal set up in one of them. They have a taser range set up in one of them. So they'll bring those in. And as council members, you guys will be invited to that. And as it gets a little closer, I'll send some information out to you. But they're here 3 or 4 hours, and they feed you lunch while you're here, and they actually show you some of that equipment and let you put your hands on it. So that's pretty exciting that it's coming down. So with that, I don't have anything else unless y'all have questions.
Tell them about your cash confiscation.
Well, I can't say a whole lot.
Oh,
Since
okay.
It's still an active investigation,
Okay.
but our canine officer, we got pretty excited over the weekend last week. They got sent a picture of a bunch of cash sitting on his hood, which was in several bundles of $10,000. And so it ended up being all counterfeit money. So, which was still a good stop and good arrest, but it would have been better if it would have been real money.
And is the kennels done or?
The kennel is done. We still gotta have a few little things that we need to do to it, but overall it's finished.
Any questions for Chief Porter? They do a great job. Mr. Yardley? Yes, $6 million.
Well, first of all, thank you for approving that bond ordinance that's allowing us to get that $6 million. We're looking forward to the project starting. We we anticipate, them advertising for bids in early spring. We're going through the process right now of getting approval from the health department for the plans. We've gone back and forth, I guess, 6 different times with submittals and revisions and submittals and revisions. And anyway, we'll get there. And eventually, once the plans are completely approved by the Department of Health, they'll go into the final phase of design where they put together a bid package and then we'll submit those or advertise for bids. And hopefully we'll get a lot of interest in that and get competitive pricing on it. And the project, they're anticipating it taking probably 9 months to complete. Once they start the construction on it, it's gonna take a while. And so it'll be a little bit of a mess there at the water treatment plant while that's all going on. It's kind of a tight space. As y'all know, that treatment plant is bound by park space now, parks and the senior inn and all that. I don't know if you know the history of that, but when the Lake Alma was built, all of that land that was south of the dam there was really designated as the water treatment property. And it's being encroached on. So now we're kind of hemmed in by that little area inside of that fence now. And so there's, the footprint for this particular project is going to take up all the remaining space that we can possibly put anything inside that facility. So hopefully we'll be able to get that to work. And if we ever have any kind of additional needs in the future, we may have to kind of encroach on the park space to get that back at some point. But hopefully that won't happen. I don't anticipate any other changes out there that would require that much space. But anyway, that'll probably start happening in the spring. We'll start seeing some bidding on that. Just a little update on the south side sidewalk project. Half Associates is working on the easement documents. We're gonna have to acquire some easements for the sidewalk. It primarily involves trying to stay away from existing infrastructure or ditches. As you know, a lot of the south side of town doesn't have curb and gutter. There's still some estate style roads with ditches, and so in order to accommodate a sidewalk along that area, you have to move back behind the ditch over onto some private property to accommodate a sidewalk. So we're in the process of putting together easement documents, and then we'll have to go out and acquire all those easements to do that. But anyway, that's really where we're at right now on that project. On the Column West subdivision overlay project, as y'all know, we put in request for street aid funds from the highway department, and we were awarded $300,000 for that overlay project in that subdivision. And the mayor spoke with the department last week, I believe, or earlier this week, and he was told that they went out for bids, and they actually got a really good price for one of the bids, and it was from Emery Sapp and Sons, and they do have a local office here in Fort Smith, but they're a pretty big company. They serve all up in Missouri and Oklahoma, and so they have multiple locations. And they, as you know, that we knew that we would spend more than $300,000 to do that one subdivision, but we had agreed to pay the additional amount, and we had increased the budget to $70,000 for 2025 out of city funds to finish that. And it turns out we're going to only have to spend of our funds $37,000. So the bid came in lower than the highway department expected it to. So anyway, that was good news. And we're still looking at spring, early summer before they actually do the work. But nonetheless, we have a contract on. And that project will be managed by the highway department, not the city. And so that'll be interesting down in a neighborhood like that. But we'll, I'm sure they'll take input from us, but we won't be in control. And
We'll get blamed.
yeah, we'll get blamed on it. Absolutely, it's our project. So then the last thing is if you've been over near the Cantor Bridge recently, there's beams across the creek, so that's really good news. And so that they're moving ahead. And, you know, I'm really surprised that they're able to do as much work as they're doing, even in this inclement weather. They've still been out there getting after it. So anyway, it's been a blessing. We're seeing that happen a lot quicker than we anticipated. So. And that's all I had, and other than telling you thank you for all the approvals that we got tonight. I know there was a lot on the agenda, and I appreciate y'all taking care of that. And if y'all have any questions. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mark.
All right. I have a keys in the amount, and I'm gonna try to speed through. 10 permits issued in the month of December. Obviously, at the end of the year, it gets kind of, slow down a little bit with the weather and whatnot, so. But we did provide a total revenue of $1,226.50. Our total permit revenue was over $68,000. That's a 25% increase compared to last year. And then construction value reached almost $13 million. That's a 34% increase compared to last year as well. So the permit amount that we've issued, it's been decreasing over the past couple of years. However, we've been getting larger projects, so that's why you see that huge increase as well. So good on both sides of that. So I think really it was all the roofing jobs. I think we had probably 4 roofers in every morning during that time period a couple of years ago. So we did exceed this year's budget by 2.7%. That was by the hiring of Brett. However, we still had 12% in operations, to help offset that cost. I think I even got, we budgeted for a 45K truck, and then I ended up getting just a 39K truck and used and all that, so to help offset. With that, I'll skip to the bottom over here. So Brett did get a truck, a used 2022 GMC Sierra, 122,000 miles. So now I need GL's approval to get rid of the other truck via seal bid.
Do we need to approve that tonight? Need a motion to allow the planning commission to sell Brett's truck at a sealed bid.
Not the planning commission, the planning department.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
We don't want the planning commission selling anything.
y'all have it.
I'd make that motion.
Second,
Second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you. About to say, so I picked up the trail calendar that was out from November 6th, 2024 to January 14th of this year. So basically, there's been a slight increase, but it's been kind of about the same, but that was also with double the amount of days collecting data. So we're still averaging 22 people a day on that trail. And during that time period, January 1st was our highest day with 59 people. Obviously, the weather's been not great lately for hiking, but it is better than summer for hiking too. So, but I'm sure a lot of people want to go see, some of the snow and ice on the waterfall and whatnot. So, hopefully we can get more pictures too in the future. And of course, the city of Allen accepted the Trendsetter Award at Arkansas Municipal League with Gary and the mayor. And, that was for our downtown streetscape with, Mark's help and y'all's help and the community and everything else. So, that's, basically including everything that's happened since the downtown streetscape, getting completed with all, or mostly new property owners downtown, actually having some businesses and some life in our community for our downtown. And we're excited to be honorable mention for that. So we'll strive to do better things next year, or I guess this year technically. So myself and Planning Commissioner Philip Fawcett completed the planning official training program through the Arkansas Public Administration Consortium. The next step would be going through their certification process, and that's going to require a capstone study. Basically, I would have to go to another planning commission, watch how they do stuff, and write a paper and read a book that is recommended by their facility, so, or their organization, so. We'll see. I have, I think, 2 or 4 years to do it, so. So the planning commission didn't meet in January. I kind of want to say it was my fault. Somebody was requesting a variance. However, when I got the information, when I was transmitting it to the newspaper to be able to post within our 15-day period, I was too late. That was really just because of the holidays, and so their timelines were moved up, or deadlines were moved up. So I wasn't able to put it in, but we're gonna be able to get it in for the February meeting, so. And then, of course, discuss the speed limits as well. Other than that, any questions?
I think on January the 1st, there was about 25 or 30 people from Northwest Arkansas that came down and hiked the trail. Jim Warnock had met them out there.
Cool.
Thank you, Cody. Ms. Rhonda?
Been very busy. The end of year stuff and getting 2025 on board, trying to make sure we don't miss the deadline from this last year as far as getting the monies transferred for the fire and police and things like that. Audited all the time accruals to make sure that those were, I've been keeping those in tandem on the spreadsheet like we always had previously. And then just get department heads to make sure, this looks right. You don't have any employees saying my accruals don't look correctly or anything like that. Got all those corrected. There was a couple of streets that weren't correct. We got those corrected, so moving forward, I will not keep that spreadsheet, so it will truly be up to the employee and supervisor to make sure their times are correct when they approve their time cards. And that's where the time accruals, of course, generate from, because they have those algorithms sitting there according to our handbook. So I reviewed all the line items for accuracy and made a couple of corrections there. We'll continue, we'll kind of do a quick check again before we close out 2024. A couple of more things to do. I think Ms. Amy has some invoices that are coming in that need to be on the 2024, because on the credit card, so it kind of a delayed receivable. And once we get that, we'll get that closed out. 2025 plugged in there, so moving along. I will brag on Marte and Kathy. They are doing such a good job on everything. Looking over everything from June 4th, you can tell such a difference in consistency and the way things are entered. It's not, it makes it so much easier to read and audit, because it's very consistent, and they're doing a really good job. Ms. Kathy was hurt. She every once in a while, Encode will void a receipt on it's a system void, and Encode wants to charge a lot of money to figure out why it's doing that. Because it really shouldn't be, but it's electronic, so we do weird things sometimes. Audit had questioned us on it last year. Michelle would come to my office and ask me about the void receipts. We're all human. We're going to have a void every once in a while, and she brought me one today, and she's like, it burned this one. I'm like, it's okay, don't worry about it. We'll just sign it, and then if I have a question on it, we'll just say, it happens sometimes. But we have very less amount than we had last year, so that's great. Website hosting admin, our young lady that was doing that resigned on us. Daniel came yesterday and said he is talking with a young man that does Rebecca's website hosting. And Ms. Kathy called Rebecca for us, and they were very pleased with him. He looked over it last week, and he let them know that she didn't get a problem at all. It needs updating, it's WordPress, and we've just been having a lot of issues getting things posted or pages updated, and it will just, every once in a while, just kick us completely out, or it'll say there's an error posting that, and we have to wait, an hour, and go try again. And Daniel's been asking for an update to that for over a year, and it hadn't happened. So I think that it will happen very soon with this young man taking it on. We've been without one, host for a little bit, but between Daniel and I, we just went, it wouldn't let us post anything, couldn't figure out why. I went in and found there's an admin email that, obviously that email, when the other one resigned, was like that. So I put my email in there and then it started, it was supposed to get. We're gonna get that figured out and, I think we'll have an approved website pretty soon. On my HR pro, I talked about this before, about them getting those, payment confirmations over to me that audit said we have to have. And they're gonna charge us $120, so we worked it out, where they're just gonna, about 2 hours a quarter is what it's gonna work out to. They'll be able to just pull all those and get them over to me. I received it the other day. It's a little bit haphazard. I've got to kind of configure it and put it in a package so that it's a little more presentable for audit, but it's gonna work, so glad for that. I did contact, I put on there, I haven't received anything else from audit, but I contacted Rochelle this morning and asked her if we were still on board for end of February, and she said, yeah, the first week of March when I'm there. I questioned if they would be able to do 24 as well, so that we could kind of, because in 22, they done 21 and 22, and so we could kind of get a clear picture of if we've got all the improvements needed in there. And she said she wants to get 23 done and cleaned up first, and then she was gonna ask her if she could go right into 24, depending on how long it takes 23 to happen, I think. So, really praying that doesn't get delayed again. Vehicle and property taxes came, we're getting those paid this week. The asset list is up to date. We'll mention Wayne earlier, with his help at the end of 23 and first of this 24. We just really got that back on board, and it's just a matter of when something happens. We've already got his new, the trade-in vehicles updated as a sold, and new ones in there as an acquisition. So it's keeping that up to date. And that's really all audit was looking for, was that it was staying updated. And we got it all in Encode now. It's not a spreadsheet. It's all in Encode. So they can just pull that straight out there. They can see where we've made, changes to when something is sold and when something is purchased. So I think for the first time in quite a few years, we won't have a write-up on that.
I think since 2016.
Yeah, something like that.
I think.
So looking forward to that. And, I think she'll look at it and won't have to spend much time on it at all. So that'd be great. And of course, a lot of people helped on that. Wayne, Peggy helped work with Wayne on that. She continued to give her a file. She would input it, when you got something. And now Kathy has learned to do the same thing. So all working together, really keeping it. It's not too difficult. It just takes a little extra time, but keeps it all separated. Any questions for me? I know that he mentioned the overdue about Jeff. I kind of wanted to talk on ours. And I thought once earlier when I gave him that print, I should print that for the council. And I did it because I got it. But our, on finance, of course, we just go a little bit on workers' comp. Overtime and bonuses. Labor law doesn't like you to be over 200 hours of comp time. And I hit that in the first part of this year when I was doing the jobs by myself. It was good. Sarah last year, in 23, I was trying to get taxes worked out, all of those things, really in 24 as well. We hit that mark, and so I just started paying the overtime instead of adding it to comp time. So this year, I currently have about 68 days scheduled off to eat up that comp time because I don't want there to be a payout at the end of the year on it. I know it's awful, and I hate it. And it's already starting to affect my life now. I'm getting overwhelmed because I've got so much to do. And I was like, oh, I have too many days scheduled off. But
You deserve them. You've earned them for sure.
well, a lot of changes this year. So the days off, I told them this morning I'm coming back to work the rest. The travel and training, Marta and I both went to quite a bit of training this year. So that's where we didn't go over about much, but we went over a little bit there. I did budget a little more this next year, so we can stay under that and continue that additional training. Professional fees, like he said, was the IHR fees from that, and we budgeted those in to the 2025. They just didn't know what to expect, didn't know what to budget for, and we started those in April. So that was their first pay period was in April. So just about the entire year, we had those fees that we were budgeted for, and that's what that overage is.
Now that you're more comfortable with that system and how that's working and everything, is that still, are you still happy with how that's going?
I am, other than the additional, cost for getting records, and just not being able to go in there and look at some of those, when did that payment confirmation happen, just not being able to go and pull those records. I will say the software, excuse me, that we're looking at, they can do all of this stuff, but they sign into your system and do it. So all of your records remain
In your system?
in your system. So, that's a huge plus. And to, we didn't, and without saying too much, and the one that we're looking at, I think payroll should come back in-house and then they should just do the taxes, because that's really what we need to do the time saver on, because payroll is not difficult, and it's, and I'm not saving any time in payroll, because I have to go do those journal entries to get it in there. So I'm really not saving much time in payroll. I am saving time on the tax process each month and quarter. So, and that system will do that, but they sign into your system and get it all processed and done for you. Send you a small fee, and then go out of your system, and all of your records are still intact with the rest of your payment. But yeah, I mean, we've got it worked out. We've got it down to, it's
I know at first it seemed a little rocky,
it was all over
like
the
it may not
place.
have been as better for you as we originally thought, so I'm glad to hear that it's saved some time.
Yes, the last adjustment I made to our processing it was in November, so I'll tell you, we're still just like kind of fine tuning it. But December and so far this year, it's just, I can't see any other needs for change in how we're processing that, so
That's great.
it's working good.
Glad to hear that.
And as soon as the audit's over, we're gonna get serious about the software.
Yeah, and that's kind of another reason I asked, I went ahead and asked if we could possibly do 24. Do 24, if she could move into the software at the third or fourth quarter, that would be ideal.
Any questions of Ms. Teague?
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Thank you. Parks, not much to say, three things. One, surely by the end of February, we'll have all the bids and all the things done to start with the restroom at Costello Park. Rob with ACS Playground Adventures will be here next Tuesday to make a presentation about the old park down there as far as updating it or, doing some things down there out of the bond issue. The aquatic park is already starting to take applications for lifeguards and this type of thing. So we're just getting that started. Obviously, this kind of weather, not a lot going on with the park system. Mr. Thixton, Ed Thixton called me yesterday just to visit. He, as you know, community outreach gets the proceeds of the people going through the park down there for the donations. I think he said they got like 4,000 something this year, and he was encouraging us to add lights down there. And he said he was going to send I said, well, send me a list of what you're talking about. I said, we can't spend much money, but we'll try to do something down there. But anyway, that's all there is about parks. And then mayor's remarks, just a couple of things, because I will cover everything I want to say next month in the state of the city. But 2024 was really a good year, I believe, in every department here. I really believe that. But you have no idea, I don't think, the depth and severity of what the finance department has overcome. You just can't imagine. Rhonda and Marte and Kathy have done a remarkable job. And 2023's audit will not be much better than 2022 because we didn't really change anything until about the fourth quarter. But I am more than confident, put my neck on the line, but 2024 will show vast improvement. And,
I've done a lot of journal entries for 23 though, so we.
yeah, I mean,
Maybe a little
it's gonna be better. And they're gonna, yeah,
So,
yeah, and they're gonna recognize, and I'm confident that they will remark that even though this still happened, the progress has been made. Yeah. One thing I want to throw out just for discussion, I don't know in the past if the city council has ever had a strategic planning meeting. I do not like to waste people's time, and I think you can ask the department head, we don't meet unless there's something we need to meet about. But I am 100% convicted that we need to make some really strategic plans for the future. We've got to address pay predominantly in the police department. We've got to look at what are we going to do with the fire department. I think it deserves some discussion that we separate the water department from the street department. It just doesn't go hand in hand. It does when you got a Mark Yardley that's been here for a long, long time. But it doesn't with the new people. And so something we need to discuss. I think we need to discuss having a parks director going forward and several other things. And again, you work, you have families, but we've all committed to this. And I think sometime this year, we need to figure out a way to have a productive, organized, productive strategic planning session to discuss the next 5 to 10 years. And so, but we'll visit. Do y'all have any thoughts about that or?
I agree with everything you just said.
Yeah.
And I think we need to make sure that we do it on a day that we've all got time.
Oh, yeah, it's
Right. It
right.
won't be a 45-minute.
No, we're not going
conversation.
to,
It'll be a long
we can't look at the clock.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll
And
just
it
need to
needs
make
to
sure we
be-
plan it on a good day that we can
Yeah.
all really commit that
Yeah.
time.
And I have asked Gary to contact whomever at the municipal league that might get involved and guide us through this process. So,
Absolutely.
because it's here, it's past here, and Jeff mentioned, and I don't, City of Ozark just gave all their policemen a $5,000 raise. Now, I don't know where the money came from or anything like that, but that's real. And the jail is now paying more than we're paying our policemen, starting. So it's critical issues, but we all know that. I mean, I'm not telling you anything you haven't already told me, but I would like to visit with y'all about that and how we can proceed.
I think in addition to that, we need to really think through how we attract businesses and bring in revenue.
Yeah.
We have some good restaurants, we have some gas stations, things like that, but those aren't bringing in a lot of revenue from outside of town.
Correct.
So however we can, we're gonna have the interstate, Cody's got a master land use plan that's excellent.
Mhm.
I think we need to, as a council, think about some of that and capitalize on the good work that's already been started.
Totally agree. Thank you. Yeah. And I have nothing else. I'll stay and visit and answer any question I can. But again, I don't like to just sit around and keep you from doing whatever you need to do if you got something you want to do.
You waiting on me?
You can't resign from the council. We'll be here all night.
I move we adjourn.
Have a motion, we have a second.
I'll second.
Second. We're dismissed. Thank y'all very, very much for your input. Yeah. James, be careful. Thank you. Be careful. Thank you. Appreciate you.
I'm gonna go eat me some soup. It's gonna taste like steak and potatoes.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, it does.